this year is just very important to me to really want to bring my best package. It sounds cheesy to say, but I've been working hard, going through a lot of adversities and challenges over the years, and every year's had something kind of like get in my way and felt like it was holding me back. This year's had a few earlier on in the year, but at this point, I'm feeling pretty good, feeling pretty set. So I just want to be able to stride into this one. I want to be able to enjoy it. I want to be able to, get off stage, kiss my wife, hold my baby, know that I became the best in the world and maintained a beautiful relationship through it.
How important is it to share the success with somebody else as opposed to just doing it for yourself?
It's hard to say how important it is because I haven't had the success without her, but I can't imagine it in any other way. I think, in the meaning we find in life, it's beautiful to do hard things and to accomplish things. But if you were to do it alone, it's just not the same as being able to share it with someone. I think there's a level of, codependence and regulation that can be healthy and can help you push through, be more present, not have to shut off and numb so much. I think a lot of people who are going through hard things, trying to accomplish really big levels of success, numb a lot to get there. And I think being able to have a partner in which you can regulate yourself with and share and communicate and lean on prevents you from having to numb, brings you closer together, which is its own experience as well as the experience of whatever you're working towards. So it's like double the amount of joy that you get to feel.
Growing in two ways at once.
Exactly, yeah. And who doesn't want a big hug after you accomplish something,
Yeah, that's cool. What will you be talking about in your speech, hopefully?
My speech, hopefully? It's a good question. I would say just talking about this year, I've been thinking a lot about the sacrifices that come with success. Like nothing comes for free. And I've reflected a lot over the years of how much of my mental peace I've had to sacrifice to accomplish what I've accomplished. And it's just been a lot of like waking up at 5 a.m., going through the day, wake up, weigh myself, weigh my food, do my check-ins in the mirror, like go to the gym, work out, how strong, everything is like, am I good enough? Am I being enough? Am I doing enough to win the Olympia right now? It's all just compared to being Mr. Olympia, to that level of success. And, people talk about what you sacrifice to be great at things. And they're normally like, you don't get to go hang out with your friends. You don't get to go party, go eat, go do these things. But I think for me, the biggest sacrifice has just been my mental peace. So the goal this year has been trying to find that, maintain it, have the mental peace while also thriving at a high level and seeing how I can do that as efficiently as possible. And, I'd like to be able to say I did so successfully.
Talk to me about the tension of being as high of a performer, the best in the world at what you do, whilst also not having that neurotic drive, that sort of ambient anxiety that you can never switch off, because it seems like that anxiety is precisely what creates the perfectionism approach that allows you to cover all of those bases. Is it possible to have one without the other? I'm
not sure. I still have a level of neuroticism in me, even though I've been succeeding for like 5-6 years now, and it's definitely gotten better. I don't focus on perfection. I focus on just doing the best I can. But even within that, I have that voice in my head that will look at myself every now and then and be like, it's not that I'm a shitty person, but if I'm trying to be Mr. Olympia, like, you're not fucking doing enough. And it creates a impeding anxiety upon myself, like I'm not doing enough. And that's not like an overwhelming thing all the time. It's a drive for me to keep being better and keep pushing more and more, but it's a lot. So I think being able to manage that is one of the most challenging things of maintaining success for an extended period of time. There's two different mindsets when you win something. There's, oh, I won, I did it, I'm done. And then there's, oh shit, like I got to do better than this. I won, now I have to maintain this. Not only maintain this, but this is the bare minimum of what's expected of me, and I got to do better now. So there's the balance of all that. And I think over the last couple of years, I've been able to really be able to fix my perspective on just being grateful for the privilege of it. There's been times where I thought I was going to stop competing because the pressure felt so high. And then when I started to step away from it, I was like, fuck, I would really miss this pressure. Like, I have something I love about it. There's something I love about being put back against the corner, like knowing that there's a lot of work I have to do, feeling like I can't accomplish my goal and you're going to have to do it. There's something so like simple and beautiful in the meaning of just doing something that difficult under that level of pressure that you're choosing to do. People say you find meaning in suffering. And I think if you put yourself into like a meaningless suffering, it's kind of just, it's dumb. There's no point. You're just hurting yourself for no reason. But if you can find your meaning in just doing hard things that are as close as possible to suffering, that you're still benefiting from and you still enjoy, I think it's beautiful.
That's one of the vicious double-edged swords of having success if you have that kind of mentality, which I know all too well, that anytime you reach a new high or achieve some new kind of bar, hooray, we did it. Immediately, the next thought after that is, oh, fuck, I now need to do it again, but better. That's now the next minimum.
Yeah, and I've had conversations with many people about the possibility of not having that and just being able to enjoy it and relieve the pressure on yourself. And, you know, there's all these studies that come out, talk about motivation and drive, saying that you can get more from coming from like a secure place rather than beating yourself up. And it's like, it depends on what your version of success is. Like, can these people live a life to be more happy and fulfilled? Yes. But will they be Michael Jordan and have 6 championships?
Dude,
probably not, you know?
I love this topic. I love it so much. And I think the bottom line is that if you're talking about beating everybody else on the planet to a thing, what you're actually talking about is what are you prepared to sacrifice psychologically, physically, existentially, relationally, socially, in terms of your self-esteem, your confidence, everything, right? All of that. Because if there's even a part of you that's thinking, well, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to balance it because I want to feel satisfied. I want to feel comfortable with myself and so on and so forth. That's fine for as long as it contributes to your performance within the domain that you're competing in. But as soon as you sacrifice any output in that, that's just an opening for somebody else that's the competitor that's going to come in and get it.
Yeah.
Because I use this example of Eddie Hall, world's strongest man, 2017 or 18, I think. And he's there, you know, he's worked hard toward this final goal. He wins it once and he's crying and he's saying, Nana, this is for you, his grandma that passed away recently, something like that. And he says if he hadn't won that year, he thinks that he would be dead, divorced with no relationship to his kid because the weight he was at and the way he was pushing his body with pharmaceuticals and stuff was ridiculous. He was working so hard and training so much that his relationship with his wife was in the toilet and he spent no time with his kid. So you think, okay, in order for you to beat Eddie Hall, you have to be prepared to sacrifice all of those things or not have them in the first place. So that's the price that he pays to be him. Do you want to win World's Strongest Man? Because that's the price right there.
Yeah, it's powerful. And that's what it comes down to, like, what are you willing to sacrifice at the end of the day? You know, people don't understand the level of sacrifice it's going to take. And there's been moments where I realize that there are competitors I'm going against, I'm sure, and people in my league who are doing things that hurt their body more than I'm willing to do. Because I'm not the person anymore. I can't say I'm willing to sacrifice everything to win the Olympia. Like, hell no. I have a family. You know, there's things I care about. Am I willing to sacrifice a lot? My own, like, selfish mental peace and a lot of joy and a lot of things and working really hard? Absolutely. But my health, taking years off my life to not be with my family and stuff, those are the things that kind of like hold me back now. And is that going to make me better or worse? I don't know. But again, you know, I've always focused on building my own definition of what success means to me. You know, it's like we were saying, in competition, there will always be, I'm trying to be the best in the world. That means I need to beat these people. That means I'm good enough or I'm not good enough in comparison to something external of myself. But internally, the values of the truth of what you hold in yourself, of what really success means to you in your entire life, those are the things that you kind of have to balance and weigh out and kind of lean into one or the other. And I compete because I want to win. I love winning. I love being the best in the world. I've sat many times trying to find the balance of what I want within all this. If I was losing, I wouldn't be competing. I'm here to win. And it is what it is. I love what I do, but at this point it's taken away a lot that I just really love winning more than I dislike the work. So it's fine. I can do it. But my values are still bigger than that. My success at the end of my life is beyond hurting myself now to do so. So it's a constant check-in with myself of making sure I'm lining up my values and I'm not going to sacrifice winning to do so. And I need to be smart enough that when those start to disbalance, I need to pull away from one, focus on the other, and know when to check out.